All right. Cool. We got about an hour-ish. I actually wanted to do something that I thought I was gonna do yesterday and the day before, and that is to implement the sound effects. Okay, so Cole had submitted some sound effects that we are going to merge. Merge. Where are we gonna merge it? Where are Cole's sound effects? Okay. Cole's sound effects. Ooh, yes. Okay, here we go. So, what do we got? We've got comms room chart recorder, lever, lever squeak. Okay, so this is going to be the, you know what? Let's do this. Let's set up a testing sandbox. I'm going to save this. This is actually a good idea. A separate level that has quick load times. Okay. Let's do CSG box. Whoops. And let's get the player. All right, this thing needs collisions. And cool. Make it large enough for us to be able to walk quite a while. And then load grid pattern dark static. Okay, I'm going to lock this. And let's get the radio decoder. There we go. That is what we are implementing the sound effects for. Now, what do we got? We've got audio, landmarks, comms room, puzzle, machine 1. Okay. Let's see what we have here. Buttons. Buttons. Okay. Chart recorder, which needs to be fixed, by the way. We got lever. Uh-huh. Nice. Lever squeak loop. Nice. Perfect. Okay. So let's start with the lever. All right. I'm actually gonna close just about everything else here. Okay. Let's do this one first. Audio stream player 3D. We're going to give it a randomizer. And we still can't drag and drop all this stuff in here, unfortunately. 3, 4, 5. Okay, so this is lever position switch. Okay. Now, in order for this to work, we have to know when the position has switched. So we have value IDX. We can do var value old IDX for sound effect switching. Okay. And what we can do here is say if value old IDX does not match the value current IDX, then first it's going to become this new value. And then we're going to talk to the lever position switch. Tell it to play. We are going to give it polyphony, so if we're skipping a bunch of positions, we can hear them like this. Let's give that a test. Okay. Right. We need to run this scene now. And we crash. Why do we crash? We crash because something to do with DevTools. Yeah, of course it is. Okay. Create buttons for environments. Maybe we should move this from the level to, I don't know, like master node. So it's in a one single unified place. Okay, let's go to the master node. Store it there. And now, anytime we're talking to this variable, there we go. Okay, let's try that again. Well, now it's probably trying to adjust the environment. Or not. Huh. Current scene, right. It's in the master node now. Oh, wrong scene. Let's run the testing scene now. There we go. Okay. We may need a light in here. Nice. Okay, now what if we reduce the polyphony? Just 2. Damn it. I should have thought something was wrong when it didn't load right away. Uh-huh. Yeah, maybe we don't want polyphony. Because there only needs to be one chunk. That is not the right place. This is the right place. Set it back to 1. Hmm. Okay. Cool. What else do we got here? We got the loop. This loop is for when we're dragging it. Oh. Let's get another audio stream player. Populate this here. Lever, pull, loop. Cool. Now this one is going to autoplay. And then we're going to make it loop. Yep, so that's enabled. But the volume, we're going to set it to -80. And we're going to make it increase the volume over time if we are moving. If we're moving the lever. And otherwise, it's just going to reduce it back to 0. So var lever loop volume -80. I think for now that's fine. Now, when we move, we're gonna do lever loop plus equals, let's do plus equals 5. And then we're gonna clamp between -80 and 0, so it doesn't bypass that. And then here, we need to talk to the lever loop. Volume, right? Volume dB plus equals lever loop volume minus the current volume divided by 5. Or I should say no. You know what? It's this value gets set directly to whatever this variable is. But the variable itself is always going to be returning to -80 divided by divided by 50. At least for starters. Let's take a listen to what this sounds like. Okay, we can hear it. Hmm. Okay, this might not be enough. Can we pitch it down? Okay. And then maybe here we could set it. Interesting. -80 seems to be already when we cannot hear it. Fascinating. Okay. So let's go run this scene. You know what? Let's make it dissipate quite quickly. Maybe not that quickly. Still too quickly. Change the live name again. Never let them know your next move. Nice. Okay. So that's good. Now we have the chart. Okay, so that's the next prop. Okay. Let's pop in here. So we have two sounds here. And then what's really cool is that Cole had made it so that the beginning, we have a nice stem here. And then it's an infinite loop. And then we got the dots. Perfect. Now the dots are kind of broken because, well, this was the joys of the porting process. So what we're gonna have to do here is probably remake this whole process material. Okay. We're gonna make the element work in local space. And we need the gravity to be set in a particular direction. Like this. Except that seems to speed up. So maybe we don't do that. Maybe we do spawn velocity. No spread. 0.2. It's got to be the same. Yes, okay. The lifespan has to be changed. Yep, until it goes there. Gotta reduce the number of them. Okay. And then we're gonna copy this. Copy the process material. Paste it in here. Okay, and that gives us, well, that gives us something. But it's inconsistent because the number of particles is different. There's got to be 10 and the lifespan, I think. What was it? 1.3. Okay, there we go. Here we can just pre-process. Maybe. Let's try setting the dimensions. Interesting. The dimensions seem to be unique. Okay. I think that seems to be pretty good. Nice. Okay, maybe we can color this in a different different color. So we're gonna make unique. Go inside. Ah, right. We need to make this thing unique. The albedo is going to be maybe a nice red color. Roughness all the way up, metallic all the way down, no specular, don't need any of that nonsense. And cool. All right, so now we can add some sound effects. We're gonna do audio stream player. So this is dot machine loop sound effect. I think I can actually push this back a little bit. I don't think anybody will notice. Cool. And then we have the pen. Okay, so when we start, toggle emitting becomes on, and then we have to tell this and this to play. If on is true, And then otherwise, stop. Cool. Let's get over here. Okay, now we need to make sure that this thing always gives us the first puzzle. So I'm gonna have to do this and then edit the selector. Where's the selector? Here's the selector. To have the first puzzle as the only target. As a matter of fact, that's not good. I left it that way. It's not supposed to be that way. It's supposed to have all three puzzles. But for testing, we're just gonna have one. Okay, otherwise, release the game and it's like, oh, this is so easy. It always gives me only the first puzzle. Yeah, it's because I'm an idiot. There we go. Hold that. We do have sound effects for these as well. Pull. Nice. Okay, that's good. What's next? We have buttons. Pull number 2. Whoops. Interesting. We have lever. Machine off. Cool. I believe these are these guys. And then machine off is kind of like a global puzzle selector. We have a timer. We have timers over here. Buzzer. Nice. And it's got a loop point. Aha, okay. So we got two. We got a slow timer and a quick timer. Interesting. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna have to double check with Cole which one's for which. And then this is the buzzle for buzzle. The buzzle. Right. This is the buzzer for failed to complete the puzzle in time. Okay. On timer, timeout. We get the path and we trigger it. Okay, and what are you triggering? We're triggering puzzle 1. Just puzzle 1. Yeah. So in puzzle 1, we have a trigger. Puzzle 1 start delay. Well, that doesn't make sense. Radio decoder timer. The radio decoder timer, when it is triggered, or when it triggers something, when the timer runs out, it will talk to whatever its trigger target is. We have, actually, you know what? We have trigger targets, we have trigger send targets. So trigger send, I have absolutely no memory of what trigger send's purpose was supposed to be. Trigger send not only triggers something, but also sends a reference of the node, right? Nope. Let's trigger, wait, trigger reset. Trigger send. Oh yes, origin node. Now we don't really care what the origin node is, but we do just disable it. Okay, so this is in the puzzle itself, by the looks of it. So we can do audio stream player, call it puzzle failed. There we go. And then we can copy this. Oh, well, we can't do it here though. We have to do it in here. Puzzle 1, puzzle 2, puzzle 3. Okay. I believe the 3 puzzles have their own timers, their own scripts. Yes, they do. Okay. Cool. So we have trigger send. There we go. And this one actually does discern between the different objects. So we're going to need to say puzzle failed sfx.play. Yes. Okay. And then we got to go through puzzle 2 and 1. Make sure that they can also do the same thing. Now, did we have to give them 3 individual nodes? Probably not. But we're here. Okay, now. We have a timer right here. It has something. When the timer runs out, that's when it needs to stop the timers. Okay, now are they looped? Are they synced? That, I don't know. That actually remains to be seen. So, I guess we can test it. Okay. Can we just instance a new node? Audio stream play 3D. Okay, so clock work loop 1 SFX clockwork loop 2 SFX. Okay, this is where we start. And this is where we stop. Cool. Okay, I don't think they're synchronized. And they're not looped. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna have to double check. I'm gonna have to double check with Cole which one, how this is supposed to be, because I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be looped, but it's only supposed to be looped. It's only supposed to kick in the faster loop after it reaches what? Looks like the last. It's less than a quarter. It's like the last fifth. Okay. So what we can do is this. We can set the volume to be -80. And then as the process continues, kick in faster loop if timer reaches last fifth of the time. So if... Hey, we have a time scaler. Perfect. Time scaler less than 0. Let's do 0.35. Then this is going to be equals to 0. All right. Cool. Oh, and we crashed. So that's lovely. I should probably double check what the error is. Invalid set index volume based audio stream player 2D. Why? Did I add it to the wrong place? Hmm. Volume. Value of type int. There's no volume, is there? It's volume dB. Okay. And now we wait. I can't wait. Okay. Let's make sure that this thing can only trigger... Oh, testing sandbox. This thing can only trigger one puzzle. We're going to take this, set it to like 10 seconds. Nice. It does kick in. The buzzer, I think the buzzer is just missing some stuff. Additional layers. Let's get this in place. So we have tab, pull tap panel. Okay. The pull tap panel, we have this and this. Now, I don't want to place an audio stream player into every single pull tab. So we're going to do this. Audio stream player 3D in the whole panel. Pull tap sound effect. Get a randomizer. There we go. And then we'll pop in here we'll have a tab set, but also my number. Okay, here we go. This is where we get the tab played. So we're going to do get owner, get node, pull tab sound effects, and then tell it to play. Oh, fascinating. It doesn't really track if it's open or closed now, is it? Let's make a variable called on false. So if it passes this point, if it wasn't on, play the sound, or well, yeah, sure. Play the sound, and then on becomes true. Else, what does else do? Stop position equals 0.1. This is, I think this is where we reset. Yes. Okay. On is false, and then here on is false. Nice. Okay, what's next? Puzzle start. Machine off. Okay, so that's where we supposed to play the off sound. Let's get the, I guess, the pull lever. Now, how are we gonna play this? Nice sound effects. I know, right? Courtesy of Cole Harmon, the sound wizard. Okay, now does this play right at the end, or does this play as we're pulling it? Okay, I suppose for now, we can place it to play at the pull. How do you stream play 3D? Lever puzzle start. Now, where do we do that? Trigger all targets, right here. Oh yes, and we also need to track if it is... Oh, we do have a reset. If it's true, it becomes false. So I guess what we can do here, pull trigger sound effect. Play this. The only problem right now is that the lever pull is just going to be silent. Like that. You know, we can give it a function called func let go. I know that it accepts some parameter, but what we can do here is say if this node playing, is that the, how do you stream player? Autoplay, seek stop, get playback position. Playing is a property in this case. So if it's not playing, it will play. But if we let go, it will stop. I don't think this is going to be super synchronized. Oh, okay. So maybe. Function let go expects 0 arguments. That is okay. Just going to do it like this. We might have to split that up into 2. Whoops. Well, that should have tipped me off. Split into 2 sound effects. Like this. Yeah, no, that's not gonna work. So this is something that we have yet to work on. How do we make continuous sounds? Oops. Just trying to get rid of that. All right, so let's try leave it here. And we don't have to do any of this. We have a machine off sound. Puzzle failed sound effect. Okay. So we have a puzzle failed sound effect, and then shortly after that, we're supposed to play this clunk, the machine off clunk. Okay. The entire radio decoder doesn't actually have any code. It's just the individual components inside. So, So maybe we can take the failed sound, move it all the way to the top, like we had before. There we go. Failed puzzle machine turn off sound effect. We may have to actually attach a script here. Scripts, props, interactive, radio decoder. Okay. And the whole purpose is to have a signal to know when this sound effect is done playing, so that we can have this sound effect play. Now, might have been better if it was part of the same sound, but we don't really know how these sound effects are going to be set up until we figure out that process. And for that, we gotta try with at least something. Okay, so we're gonna go to puzzle. Instead of talking to this node directly, we're gonna get owner and then get node. Do like that. Puzzle 2. Puzzle 3. Cool. Okay. So I think this particular lever we're going to have to split up into the initial pull when it leaves the default state, then some sort of a loop that we can play while we're dragging it, and the final sound is this. And we failed. Puzzle failed sound effects. Attempt to go play a null instance. Really now? Hmm. Okay, well, when you did get owner, who'd you get? Let's try that again. That is not going to work. We don't have a player there. Okay. And then who do we get? Radio coordinate decoder LOD0. What? LOD's. Oh. Oh. Huh. Interesting. I guess we gotta do get owner dot get parent. Hmm. A little weak, I would say. We can combine the machine turn off and the buzzer into one sound. That's fine. Okay. Let's go to light bulb. So that's when it turns on. Cool. That's really all there is to it. Let's go into the decoder, go into this light. Audio stream player. Let's get a random sound. Okay. Light on sound effect. And then when it turns on, if light on is true, then light on sound effect will be told to play. Well now. Come on. Nice. Okay, now, is it me or is the machine turn off sound a little late? Hmm. Also, maybe for the buzzer, we should do like a classical telephone buzzer. It works, yes. Also, I don't think these are all the sound effects. Just for these immediate components. Oh yes, and there's also the sounds of the squeaking of the lever. We need to fix this up as well. So maybe instead of adding loudness, right here, instead of adding loudness, we're just going to set it equals 0, in which case we don't need to do this. And then here, we're just going to make it gradually decrease away. Or, okay, let me try just adding like more to it, like 15. That's not what I'm testing for. Hmm. Interesting. I can distinctly hear it. I can distinctly hear it still playing the sound, even though the click came into play. So I think what we need to do is make it not play the sound, not do this, if this lever switch position is playing. So if switch position sound effect, what is it, playing? I forget. I think it's a property. Playing. So if it's not playing, only then are we allowed to increase the volume of the squeakiness. Okay. Okay, now I did drop the pitch of it. Maybe we can return that. Take a listen what that sounds like. Mm-hmm. I think I know what might be up with this sound. I think it's just too distinct. We need something more, like dragging a wet finger across metal, which when we pitched it down, like kind of what it sounds like, but it's got to be more subtle. Maybe not dragging wet finger. It's more like old technology or old car, let's say, when you try to push it with your bare hands, and it's got that creak to it. It's not really distinct or not too loud, but you can hear all the metal bits and pieces, just ever so lightly scraping against each other. That could work. Hmm. All right. Well, that works. You know, maybe that loud clunk at the end is, maybe it's too distinct. Because it sounds like something is successfully done, even if you do this. Oh yeah, well if you do that, there's nothing at all. So that's, that's part of it. Hmm. All right, so we'll take this sound, we'll divide it into start, and then when it reaches the end, we're gonna play that clunk sound at the tail of it, and then anything in between is just gonna be a loop. Okay, we still have all of this stuff. I think that's it, right? We don't have anything else. Oh, yes. Yes, that's all that we have. All right, cool. So that's the sound effects, the latest batch of sound effects implemented. It's not everything there is to it, but it is what it is. I need to reanimate the tower still. Geez, so much work. All right, cool. So we still have these guys, and we still have these guys, and these guys. Cool. I'm gonna wrap it up at least for this hour. If we still have energy, maybe we'll return and do a little bit more. But spend an hour to get this whole thing, get the sounds so far established. That should be good. Cool. All right. Break time.